We are conduits of the divine, light beings in embryo. Our only job is to be radiant. Everything else is a distraction. Chapter 6. Beyond. Our vast ancient universe is home to more forms of life than we can possibly imagine. Some are more evolved than we are. Some are less. As human beings, we are somewhere in the middle. The lessons we are learning today about how to fully honor our true nature are lessons that have already been learned by many other races of beings. These beings have evolved into higher dimensions and have absolutely no need to exist in physical form. They are our future. We are their past, and our evolutionary path is leading us directly into their space. To understand what I mean by the phrase higher dimensions, imagine light. When we see light, we are sensing radiant energy that is emanating from the sun, in a range of frequencies that are detectable to the naked eye. These frequencies range from red to violet, and are typically referred to as visible light. The sun also radiates at frequencies below visible light, known as infrared, as well as frequencies above visible light that we call ultraviolet. When we step outside into direct sunlight, we are instantly bathed in all of these frequencies simultaneously. Even though we can only see the visible portion, the other frequencies are definitely present. The same is true of both higher and lower dimensional beings. Every discrete dimension is characterized by a specific range of frequencies. We, as physical Earth beings, live in the terrestrial dimension, and our physical senses are specifically tuned to detect terrestrial frequencies. Earth is also home to beings who vibrate at frequencies that are either above or below physical embodiment. Ultra-terrestrial beings vibrate at frequencies above physical embodiment, and therefore live in a higher dimension than we do. These are the light beings, who have already evolved beyond the need to exist in physical form. Infraterrestrial beings vibrate at frequencies below physical embodiment. They live in a lower dimension than we do, and are currently in the process of learning how to use free will in support of their own development, just as we are. The term we are most familiar with is extraterrestrial, and it refers to all beings who come from outside of Earth. In a sense, we are all extraterrestrials, because while our physical form did originate on Earth, our spirit did not. In the big picture, Earth is a destination, not an origin. Again, as with the various frequencies of light, the important idea to understand is that ultra-terrestrial, terrestrial, and infraterrestrial beings all share the same space simultaneously, regardless of whether our physical senses can detect them or not. In fact, our inner senses of empathy and telepathy transcend the inherent limitations of our physical senses and provide us with the opportunity to interact with these beings directly, if we choose to do so. Of course, we must first choose to activate these inner senses before we can actually use them. The reason why this is so important is because all terrestrial and infraterrestrial beings are in the process of evolving into ultra-terrestrials. This is the very nature of life itself, to provide all beings in all worlds with the opportunity to evolve beyond our current state of being and advance into higher dimensions. The fact that some beings have successfully evolved beyond physical embodiment and are now living in dimensions of pure light means that our evolutionary path has already been created by those who have gone before us. Because of this, walking the path is actually much easier than we previously thought. One quality of higher dimensional beings is a true understanding of oneness, and when we are ready to actually walk our path, they are ready to help us find it. And, once again, we return to the topic of free will. We can choose to activate our inner senses of empathy and telepathy. We can choose to walk the path of conscious evolution, and we can choose to accept the assistance offered by those who have gone before us. Or, we can choose to continue living the way we have been up to now, continue to remain in our current dimension, and continue to experience the consequence. We do not define our own true nature. We inherit it from the source of our being, from that which created us. This is the divine. Everything created by the divine is divine in nature, which means that we are divine, every one of us. Because of this, the most important aspect of discovering who we truly are is finding our own unique inherent divinity within us. We do this by connecting with our soul. Our soul is the bridge that links individuality with oneness. It is the umbilical cord that connects our emotional body directly to the source of our being. While our individual spirit may become lost or distracted as we experience the human condition, our soul is beyond human, and it never becomes lost or distracted. The defining quality of self that distinguishes higher dimensional beings from lower dimensional beings is the ability to fully embrace our true nature as divine beings. We do this by choosing to bring our use of free will into alignment with divine will. Our soul's purpose is to guide us through this process by using our inner senses to show us precisely how divine will would handle every situation that arises in our daily lives. Choosing to accept or reject this guidance is how we demonstrate to life itself if we are fulfilling our soul's purpose or not, if we are completing our human development or not. The consequence of this choice is reflected in our aura, and it is the brightness of our aura that determines our place in the universe.